Hey guys, so here we are for our urban garden series. We're in our neighbour Erica's house, and as you can see we've cleared out all of the old crops and we're about to plant our new summer-autumn selection. Erica's in the back getting started, so I'm going to go back and help her out and see what she's doing. I'm going to bring my hoe with me.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. A little light shining through the window lets me know that everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through my mind.
And it has a bunch of stuff you need. A bunch of components, which it has compost, chicken manure, worm castings, back guano, kelp, so it's your nitrogen, your calcium, your lime for pH balance, perlite, peat moss, humus that keeps it lofty and loamy so that your things can grow. If you have this kind of soil, earthworms come up into it on their own, and it's a healthy environment.
Oh, that's cool. So we're good to go?
Yep. Rip away.
And how expensive is this?
That's about $11 for that bag.
For this?
Yeah.
And will let this one bag do this?
I don't think so. I think we're going to have to put a little bit of a base in, put that guy in, and then put more on top.
Okay.
Yeah. And you want to think about how tall that guy is.
Right.
Right? So we want him to sit a little bit in, but not too high, otherwise his roots will be too exposed.
Okay.
Beautiful. So in most cases when you transplant something, you want to monkey around with the root system.
Okay.
But these guys have a really contained root system, so if you mess with it, it'll die.
Okay. So now what kind of tree is this?
This is called a Plumeria.
A Plumeria.
Or Frangipani, depending on where you're from.
Okay.
And they are tropical. They're the flowers that they use to make leis, you know, in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
It's very fragrant, very beautiful, and they actually act like a succulent, so you can actually pick a branch off anytime and stick it in the ground, and they transplant really easily.
Huh.
You let them harden off. You let the white stuff comes out like a rubber tree.
Right.
And you let that harden, and you put it in the dirt, and they'll take up right away. They're very expensive. Like a stick like this right here, like one little stick.
Yeah.
Costs about $70 from a nursery.
One stick.
One stick.
Wow.
So if you see one growing, and of course the person who lives there says, okay, grab a stick.
Grab a stick.
Especially if they're colorful. The colored ones are very expensive.
Right.
And harder to come by. The white ones are really easy to find.
Now, do these need to be watered a lot, or are they pretty?
They like rich soil and they like water.
They do.
Yeah, you don't want to let them dry out. But
So
you can overwater them and they rot. But what you'll find is if they're not happy, they'll do this. They'll start to do this. Can you see? They're looking kind of like a shriveled old.
Oh yeah, kind of like dried up, like a prune or something like that. I see.
Yeah, and that's either a sign of sometimes in the winter they freeze over, so you can't have them in a place where your winters are below 30 degrees.
Okay.
If they freeze, then they die.
Right.
And
well, of course, that's why they're pretty good in California, I guess.
Correct. But even this time, why you see these looking so bizarre is they froze the winter before last, and they're just now starting to come back. The tops froze off, so that's why a lot of these were amazing trees 3 years ago, and then they froze.
So they got frostbite.
Yeah. So this is the way it looks when you're transplanting them. If you grab a piece and you transplant them, this is how they look if they're healthy. They're nice and green and firm.
Right.
This is how they look if they're not. This needs to go.
It's
looks like an old
gray, and it's kind of like it's kind of like a dried up looking.
Yeah.
Which is not pretty for anybody.
It's not good. No one wants to see that.
We all want to. We all know what that's like. Oh dear.
So there you go.
She got me working today.